You type a question into a search bar and boom, in less than a second, you get millions of answers. But how does a search engine decide which one gets to be at the very top? What does best even mean to an algorithm? Well, it turns out there's kind of this secret playbook. And today, we're going to crack it open.
I mean, really think about it. The stakes are wildly different if you're searching for, say, the symptoms of a heart attack versus the latest celebrity gossip, right? A search engine has to get that right. It has to instantly sort the helpful and the trustworthy from all the junk. So how on earth does it even begin to do that?
And the answer? It's in this massive 170-plus page document called the Search Quality Rater Guidelines. And this isn't just some boring technical manual. It's the official playbook that defines what good and bad look like on the internet, coming straight from the people who build the search engine itself.
But here's the crazy part. This rulebook, it's not actually for the AI. It's for an army of thousands of real live human beings all over the world.
So these people, they're called search quality raters, and their whole job is to evaluate websites using those guidelines. But here's the really key thing. Their ratings don't directly push a page up or down in the rankings. Instead, all of their feedback gets used as training data. They're basically teaching the AI what human quality looks like one example at a time.
All right, so what's the first big idea in this whole playbook? Well, it's a category of information that's so important, it's got this intense life-or-death sounding name.
It's called YMYL. Yep, that stands for Your Money or Your Life. And this covers any topic where, bad information could cause some serious harm. We're talking medical advice, financial guidance, critical news. For these kinds of pages, the quality standards are pushed to the absolute max.
And this comparison right here just makes it crystal clear, right? Getting the winner of a music award wrong? Who cares, right? That's low stakes. But getting evacuation routes wrong or symptoms of a heart attack, yeah, that can have devastating consequences. That's the YMYL category.
And the guidelines themselves? They are absolutely crystal clear on this. The higher the risk of harm, the higher the bar is for quality. It's a single principle, but it shapes so much of how the web is organized and ranked for us every single day.
Okay, so how do the raters actually measure all this quality stuff, especially for those super important YMYL topics? Well, they use this really powerful framework called EEAT, and it stands for the 4 pillars of a trustworthy web page.
So first up, we've got E for experience. This basically asks, does the person who made this content have real, first-hand life experience with what they're talking about? You'd trust a review of a hiking boot a lot more from someone who has actually climbed a mountain in them, right? That's the power of experience.
Then you've got the second E, and that's for expertise. This is all about learned knowledge, skills. If you're going to rewire your house, you don't just want an enthusiast who watched a couple videos. You need a licensed electrician. That's expertise. And for a lot of these YMYL topics, it's absolutely non-negotiable.
Next up, A for authoritativeness. This is all about whether the website or the creator is, like, the go-to source for this topic. Think about renewing a passport. The official government website is the ultimate authority. No blog or forum is ever going to compete with that. And finally, we get to T for trust. And you got to know, this is the most important pillar of them all. It's the foundation that holds everything else up. At its core, the question is just, is this page accurate, honest, safe, and reliable? Because without trust, those other letters don't really mean much.
Here's a way to think about it. A really good scammer probably has a ton of experience and expertise in scamming people. They might even be an authoritative source for other scammers. But because they are fundamentally untrustworthy, their EEAT is 0. Trust is the absolute, non-negotiable core.
All right, so with these big ideas, YMYL and EEAT in their back pocket, the raters don't just give a simple thumbs up or thumbs down. They place every single page they look at on a spectrum of quality.
And check this out. This is the actual sliding scale they use, all the way from lowest quality up to highest. Every page on the web fits somewhere on here. So what does it take to land on either extreme end of this thing?
A page gets slapped with a lowest rating if it's actively harmful or deceptive or just straight up malicious. We're talking pages that spread dangerous misinformation, have a terrible online reputation, or just completely lack any shred of EEAT. This is the absolute bottom of the barrel.
And on the flip side, at the very, very top of the scale, the highest quality pages. These are like the gold standard of the internet. They deliver exceptionally useful content, have a stellar reputation, show a complete mastery of EEET, and just perfectly nail what the user was looking for.
Okay, we've gone pretty deep into the nuts and bolts of search quality. But let's bring it back. What does any of this actually mean for you? You know, when you're just browsing the web every day.
Because this whole framework, it's not just some secret internal document. It's really a universal blueprint. If you're a creator, this tells you how to make stuff that people can actually trust. And for the rest of us, it's like a mental toolkit for seeing the web more clearly and navigating it more safely.
And you can totally use this every single day. The next time you land on some website you've never seen before, just try thinking like a rater. First, find out who's behind the information. Look for an About Us page. Second, do a quick search to see what other independent sources say about them. And finally, just ask yourself the big question. Based on all that, is this source trustworthy for this specific topic?
Because once you get a peek at the playbook that shapes everything we see online, you can't really unsee it, can you? The internet stops being this totally chaotic, random library. You start to see the hidden logic that's trying to organize it all. And now, you're in on the secret.